DLRs, hey, what's going on, Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel? Thank you for watching. We're talking boats today, and unfortunately, with our 3.0 liter Mercruiser inboard / GM engine, our fuel pump is leaking at the gasket location where the pump seats and mates with the engine. In today's video, we're going to replace that gasket. Let's get started. We're inside the garage now, and we are going to first, no ifs, ands, buts about it, cut all electrical power to the system, and we've already done that. We have disconnected all cables, both negative and positive. And the fuel pump is right down there. Inside the boat and in front of us now, again, is the entire fuel pump housing, and the bottom portion of the fuel pump, the lower canister, is what houses your fuel filter. And we have recently replaced the filter. So our goal is to replace the gasket, where the housing mates with the engine block, without actually having to remove the large fuel hose on the bottom that feeds to our fuel tank, the blue hose that feeds up and to our carburetor. And we're hoping not to mess with those fittings as well. However, in the event that you do actually have to remove some fuel hoses, down below in the comments and description will be a link to this entire plug assortment kit. And coming up top, here are all of the sizes. Great to have one of each size out. And what you can do with those plugs is match them properly size-wise to the hoses in the event that you have to remove the hoses and plug those hoses. This works for both oil and fuel hoses. Coming to the left of the housing, again, our goal is to not actually have to loosen up and remove those fittings that secure the hard line to the housing. Following that hard fuel line up, it is secured to the top portion of the engine with a 10mm bolt. We are going to loosen up and remove that bolt and remove that little brace, or slide it down ever so slightly. And at that point, the remaining portion being rubber, we can ever so slightly have some play in maneuvering the pump housing. However, coming back up top, in order to gain access to that bolt, we need to put the engine in forward gear. And again, by putting it in forward gear, we have much better access to the 10mm bolt. And do your absolute best not to drop this bolt down inside the engine. It'll be tough to find. From here, again, sliding that little brace down, shifting that up, and again, gives us better play. Not much, but just enough. Back down to the fuel pump again, our goal is not to have to remove any of the hoses. However, down below I have placed some paper towel to absorb any fuel that leaks out. 13mm bolts that secure the pump to the block. And the bolt size about 1.5 inches. And there it falls, bringing the additional bolt out. And from here, coming down below, as you see, we've got a little bit of play, and I see the gasket right down inside there. And from here, ever so carefully shifting it down, and inside here is a fuel arm that feeds into the block. You want to do your absolute best not to damage it or bend it. However, some friendly downward pressure, and simultaneously slide it out of the block. And as you can see, it is removed. Do your best not to put too much strain on the hose. Coming off with the gasket. And it's thick, and it doesn't look that bad, honestly. However, it was leaking. Time to replace it. To the workbench, and down below in the comments and description will be a link on a replacement gasket. This is a Quicksilver OEM. Back inside the boat to the fuel pump, and with the brand new gasket, again, it's pretty thick. We are going to use some fuel and lubricate it. You'll notice the orientation bolt hole wise and that large oval opening. Ever so carefully pull the pump back, shift it in and inside the pump, and grabbing one of the bolts and feeding it through, as you see, and going back down in and sliding it in to the housing. Align the bolt hole. Do not cross thread this inside the engine. That would be terrible. From here, coming in with the second bolt, and make sure it sinks through or goes through the proper hole in the gasket. You may need to come down below and push the gasket up slightly. Align the thread and screw this bolt in as well. And again, these bolts should go in easy. Do not cross thread them. And as you tighten these, do it in sequence. About 5 to 10 turns on the left bolt, followed by 5 to 10 turns on the right bolt, and keep an eye on the gasket. Make sure it is going in and mating flush with the engine and the housing. And there's tension on both the bolts. Taking a good look at the inner gasket, making, again, sure that it's not offset. And if all looks good, do not over tighten these bolts, but you want them snug. And that is going to properly seat the gasket and create a watertight, or fuel-tight in this case, seal. From here, just double check everything, and if all looks good, we'll follow this hard fuel line up and re-secure the mounting clip. Back up top and sliding this down ever so slightly. Aligning the bolt hole. Coming in with the 10mm bolt. Do not cross thread this either. And tighten it in place. From there, we can put it back in neutral. Going into a close-up view again, DIYers, that gasket is pretty thick. Do not over tighten it, or tighten it in an offset manner. And from here, that completes the project. You can start your engine and check for leaks. In our case, it was leaking from that location. However, we're not going to start the engine today. We've got more projects ahead. Down below in the comments and description will be a link to our playlist, which includes every single DIY repair video on this inboard engine, as well as a full rebuild on the Alpha 1 Gen 1 outdrive.